Did you know you can make one of these with these? That's right, you can finger knit this paracord lanyard, and it's way easier than you think because you really only need one knot to make it, and I'm going to show you how. We are of course going to be using Paracord, a multi-purpose and multifunctional nylon rope from paracordweavers.com. Check us out for the best supplies and kits for this amazing hobby. To start finger knitting, we're going to make an overhand loop about 1 foot in from our starting end, and then pass a bight through the back of the loop to the front. This is a slip knot. Following that, we're going to pass the next bight through the first slip knot, and then pull that first one shut around the bight. What's really crazy is by tying these first couple of slip knots, you're already learning the whole method. Crazy, right? But you're going to see in a sec just how easy this is. We now have 2 slip knots, and then we continue by passing a new bight through the former slip knot. Hold it in place with a spare finger, and then we close that knot by cinching it shut, pulling on the corresponding cord on the opposite side. I'm going to adjust the size of my loops slightly so they stay manageable. And then we're going to just repeat that previous step. Pass a new bight through the former slip knot and then pull it shut. And you know what? Just like that, we've learned our finger knit pattern. So the easiest way to think of this is if you look at the direction of the running end, it's going to be pointing in the direction of the slip knot the new bight is going to pass through. And from there, we just continue the finger knitting pattern to form our lanyard. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the amount of tension you put on these knots will dictate what your lanyard looks like and how it feels. Now, I'm keeping my knots tight because I, just for the life of me, can't not tie knots loosely, if that makes any sense. It's just too ingrained in my fingers to cinch everything down firmly, which means that my lanyard is going to be a bit on the stiffer and compact side. And if you tie things a bit more loosey-goosey, the knitted lanyard will be a bit more flexible and fuller. It's up to you how you want to make yours. Now, normally knitted paracord projects often involve using, pins and PVC pipe, but this method needs none of that. I absolutely love how simple this one is, and in the process of making this, I'm once again reminded that, not every video on this channel has to be super high concept, with a lot of fast cuts and super interesting facts or something. I honestly sometimes just want to show you all how to make something, and that's pretty much it. And I know that edutainment will always potentially do better in terms of getting views than simple straightforward stuff, but I think at least on this channel we'll always come back to simple projects like this every once in a while. Now, I also really hope that stuff like this will be forever relevant because, I think it's really important to maintain interest in analog skills like, knot tying, paracord weaving, or I guess in this case knitting. And this isn't just regular knitting though, of course, it is tactical knitting. So we'll just call it tacrame. But anyhow, rant aside, as you can see, this is just one of those projects that's great to do while you just kick back with a movie on, or even better yet, do this outside, sit somewhere nice, and just listen to the world while you weave. Don't be like me though. All I do is stay inside and make YouTube videos. And before you know it, you'll have your woven paracord lanyard, or rather knitted lanyard, and I'm stopping with about 1 foot of running end left. To finish and lock down these loops, it's super simple. Just pass the running end through the former slip knot and then the latter, and then just pull all the excess through and close down those loops. The 16 feet of cord I started with created about 16 inches of woven section with a spare 1 foot of length on each side. Now, to finish this lanyard, I'm actually going to show you 2 methods and not just the one I showed you earlier. So if you like a long lanyard with 2 attachment points, you can attach a carabiner or some sort of, trigger snap hardware to both ends, and we can accomplish that with a simple barrel knot or triple overhand knot. Just pass the cord through the carabiner, bend it back over the standing end, and then make 3 loops around both cords, and then pass the running end through the middle of those loops. Cinch and tighten it up. And do this on both ends and you have a nice lanyard you can use for tools or even as a wallet chain, if those are still in style or something. If you want to get really fancy, you can attach these carabiners by tying a single strand diamond knot and then pass that running end back through the knot to make a loop. But we'll keep it simple for now. So remember how earlier I said we could make this with only 1 knot?
That's right, Major, you did!
I lied.
because to make the closed loop wrist lanyard / keychain, I just need one more knot. And I'm going to gather my running ends and pass them around the carabiner, going opposite ways through. Then bring the cords back towards the lanyard, leaving a couple of inches of space from the knitted ends to the carabiner. The right cord is going to wrap around the front and all 3 cords. And then the cord on the left is going to wrap around the back and to the front and then through the first loop. And cinch it up and we have our snake knot. And just continue tying snake knots all the way to the knitted lanyard ends. So I did actually try using Solomon knots to complete this closed loop lanyard, but I didn't quite like the look of it. I found that these snake knots match the style of the knitted braid a lot more nicely than Solomon knots / cobra knots. But it's up to you though, you can try that out if you like. And that's what's so great about making stuff like this, is that you can just really make it yours. When snipping and melting, never cut the excess off too closely to the knots you tied. You want to leave a few millimeters so that you don't risk melting your project. I like using a marlin spike handle that has a knurled texture to press down for the nicest finish, but the side of your lighter or even a butter knife will do just fine as well. And we now have a really awesome multi-purpose lanyard that everyone, even you, can make. If you want more cool lanyard projects, by the way, check these videos out.